Can't eat this, but how exciting is it to smell it?
No, Skip was a really big indie guy too, man.
All right, Carter, you got 2587.
Not for long. I make bad financial decisions.
Coming back at you. A pimp was watching some YouTube last night, watching one of my favorite channels, Reggie Collects, talking about new comic book day and some controversy. A pimp named Slaughter loves some controversy, and we got some controversy today for you because jealousy reared its ugly head here today on Reggie Collects. Here, check it out.
I've never actually said anything stupid. Don't ask my wife, brother. Let's talk about that S curl wig that you had on, where you were calling all the pimps and the players to support C3. Let's talk about that. You may not have said anything stupid, sir, but we got to talk about that wig. Scrolling through some of the comments here. See, let me. Wait, brother, you saw that wig. You saw that wig the same way that I saw that wig. And I watched it. I watched it a couple of times because it was hilarious.
You hate to see your comic book players and playettes. This man with his shiny bald head can't stand to see a pimp with some beautiful locks. Let him know. This type of hating can't be accepted in the comic book community.
Haters gonna hate.
Butts.
What up? What up? What up? It is Tuesday once again, and we are back for another FOC and Chill. Poll is up in the chat, guys. Have you liked the stream yet? I sure hope you have. Support the channel, help me get that engagement. I don't have any drama this week. There's really nothing going on that I know of. Of course, we've got the people paying for promoting their stuff on YouTube. I guess there's some controversy around that. I don't quite understand why it's controversial, but maybe some people would want to talk about that. I don't know. That's really the only kind of drama that I'm aware of. Maybe you guys can inform me on some drama, or maybe we could just have a regular show talking about random shit, or maybe we actually get to the FOC. Who knows? We'll see. Link is in the chat if anybody wants to jump on and shoot the shit. We'll see. We'll see what's crack-a-lacking. Why can't I see the comment that I just made? That's weird. All right. So what's going on? Let's get to the chat here. I'm a little discombobulated tonight. We got GT Key comic in here early this morning. What up, GT? Thanks for coming through, my man. He comes in again at 1 o'clock. We got the homie Darth Lopez in here at 6 o'clock. Kevin, Entropy and Comics here 20 minutes before showtime. My Kansas City comic book brother Swag is in the house. I hope to see you Saturday for that comic crawl I think we're putting together, or Beckerman's putting together. We got the homie Fatty Boom Batty John Stout in the house. The P&W is well represented. We've got my Discord homie and brother Benny Compton. Benny, I sent you a meme on Discord today. I hope you saw it. I thought of you when I saw it. We got another one of the Discord homies in the house. AR, what up, Aggressively Relaxing? Thanks for coming through, my man. Oh, we got the homie Darth Lopez with the super chat, getting me one step closer to actually getting my first ever check from YouTube, which would be quite an experience after having this channel for 4 years now. I've been doing this. That's kind of crazy. I've been doing this for 4 years. And I might be actually getting my first check. So that's really cool. He also mentions my Deviant review video. That's doing decently well given the content. So I'm really proud of the clips from Cliff on Comics and John's comics with kids. It's my favorite thing I've made, honestly. So I'm really proud of it. Guys, check it out if you haven't already checked it out. The artist of the book, The Deviant, Joshua Hickson, gave it his 2 thumbs up approval, which was very gratifying for me. So check it out. I'm really proud of it. Really proud of Cliff. Really proud of John. And like I said, I truly think it's the best thing I've made so far. So give it a look, see, tell me what you think, and read The Deviant before you watch. If you're going to read The Deviant, you want to read it first, because it is a spoiler-filled review. We get deep into the themes and you know, psychological issues that it explores. I thought it was a really interesting book with an ending that nicely tied everything together. I thought it didn't give us all the answers we were looking for, but I thought it did a good enough job. And overall, I thought it was a spectacular book, and I highly recommend it. So go read it and then watch my review. But thank you to Darth for that super chat. Let's go ahead and get a super chat video here. Let's go with
Machiavelli. Bitches come and go, bro. But you know I stay. Bitches come and go, bro. But you know.
My friends thought that one was weird. They were like, really, bro? I'm like, yeah, dude, I love me some Erica Slaughter, dog. You know what's up. Oh, yeah, we got the low grades in the house. I love checking these guys out on Friday night. I don't always check them out because sometimes I go to sleep, but I do check them out the next morning if I fell asleep and didn't catch them live. But they have a great time. They show books, they talk comics, they talk culture. And they always, you know, it's always fun to see who comes through. I miss Ross. I miss the beautiful Ross. I don't see him on Instagram anymore, but I hope he's well. But shout out to the homie Comics on Edge, man. Thanks for coming through. I actually think it's cool that people are advertising this stuff on here. Some of it looks good. Yeah, I think there's been some people who have called it paying for clicks or things like that. I know some might say my nemesis Razor recently shot from 300 subs to 1,000 subs, which was quite an impressive rise. But I don't think that you're really, I don't think you're really paying. I don't know that you're really buying views so much as paying YouTube to put your stuff out there more than it normally would. And I think if you put something out there that you're proud of, and it gets you from 300 subs to 1,000 subs, I don't see a problem with that at all. Obviously, it was effective advertising for him. It got him a bunch of subs, got him monetized. So I don't have a problem with it personally, even though, you know, I might choose to have a problem with it for beef's sake. But that's not how I roll, really. I think if you're proud, if you put something out and you're proud of it, then I don't have a problem with you promoting it with what YouTube is offering you. I did ask ChatGPT, hey, you know, should I promote my stuff? And it basically said that if you get a video with 50% or higher audience retention, then you should look strongly at promoting that thing because it's doing so well. But 50% audience retention is really high. My best videos have 45 or so percent audience retention. I think that Deviant is about 3 minutes and 45 seconds on a 9-minute video. So probably in the 30%, maybe low 40% range on that. So I don't know that it's something that I could use because I don't have anything good. And I don't have anything at 50% audience retention. So if I were to spend that money on promoting my stuff, I would want it to be cost effective. And according to ChatGPT, nothing I have yet is cost effective. Which really was a humbling, you know, my homie Perry Comics was talking about how Comic Tom will review your channel. As he'll come to your channel, he'll go to your videos and he'll sort by most popular videos. And he'll take a look at what your best performing stuff is. And I went and did that to my channel. And I went by popular and I was like, this is not impressive. This is not impressive at all. So I don't know that I'm in a spot where it would be worthwhile to do that. Maybe throw a $20 on it just to see what happens or something. But I don't know that I'm creating content at the level that it would need to be for that to be cost effective. But I'm not against it. I mean, I would do it if I felt like it was going to help me. If I felt like if I promoted a video, it would give me 700 subs like it did for Razor, then yeah, I would strongly consider doing that. So I don't have a problem with it. That's my thoughts on that. I don't know if you guys have problems with it or not. But YouTube offers it. It's not like it's illegal. Now, if you're going to some offshore place and you're buying subs that way, then obviously you should get clowned for that. But if you're just using the YouTube thing that they're providing for you, I'm not going to hate on that. I don't have a problem with that at all, personally. That's what it's there for. So if you make something that you're proud of and you want to get it out to more comic book people, I say, yeah, do it. If you're getting that 50% audience retention on something, yeah. But the other thing that I'm thinking about, though, is like, if it's good, do you need to promote it? Right? Won't YouTube promote it for you if it's good? So there's that too. Like, if I'm getting a video with 50+% audience retention, ChatGPT says, hey, maybe it's worth putting it on there. But my thought is, like, if I'm getting 50% audience retention, shouldn't YouTube do that for me for free? Because it's doing so well. So I've been debating, like, whether or not it's something that's worthwhile for me, but seeing the results that Razor got, I don't think you could argue. Seeing the results that someone like Izzyverse NYC is getting, who's over 10,000 subs now. I mean, if it's giving you, that much of a bump, then obviously it maybe was the right thing to do. So that's my thoughts on that. Link is in the chat, guys. Did I put it in the chat? Because I don't fucking see it, actually. Let's try this again. Copy, paste, and then if nobody wants to jump on, we will go ahead and get into the FOC and get on out of here. I am whoring for super chats. Like, I'm like, after Darth hooking me up with that $5 super chat, I'm probably like another $5 super chat from getting a check. So if you guys want to see more of my meme videos, definitely hook a brother up. We got the homie Beckerman in the house as well. What up, Beckerman? Thanks for coming through. Hoping to link up with you this coming Saturday at the Comic Coffee House. And maybe I definitely want to hit up Nerdstalgia. Hopefully I will have money and be able to do that. We'll see. Oh, we got somebody joining us. There was no drama this week, so he's like, let me come here.
Hey, I can actually stay. there's no drama.
Well, have you heard this stuff about promoting your videos, and is it something that you've ever used or considered using on YouTube?
I've never used it. I knew there were I know it exists, but I haven't looked into details. So
yeah. And so you never thought about doing it? Do you know anybody who has? And what are your thoughts on it? Is it worthwhile? Or
I mean, I have no idea if it's worthwhile. I mean, I guess if it's getting you 700 subs, I don't know what the like is. So as someone who sits around, who has just under 4,500 subs and has been in stalemated for a long time, but even like at my peak when my like the look back videos were getting 18 to 2,200 views, like over, when they were coming out, like my biggest videos, I was making like $8 on those things.
Yeah, you're not gonna make any money.
I mean, it's like, are you really gonna get that back? Like, I mean, I guess if you get something that jumped up to like 50,000 views or something, then I guess maybe you might get enough back. But it's like, I don't know. I've never thought that I make enough to make it worth it from like the ads and that kind of stuff to promote it. But I mean, I don't even know exactly what it costs to promote it. So I have not really looked into it.
Apparently it's not that much. Just a few dollars here, a few dollars there. Yeah, I've been thinking about it. I know some people have been encouraging me to promote that Deviant video, but I looked at the, after I talked to ChatGPT, and it was like 50% audience retention, and I'm definitely not getting 50% audience retention on that video. So
the look backs usually roll around 50%. Like
that's really good, man.
Yeah, I mean, not always, but that's usually like my Let's Collect. I mean, I guess it depends on when you cut the line of like how long that it. Like if you're talking about the very end, then the last like 30 seconds is maybe in the 40s or whatever. It just depends, but
50% is pretty damn good, man. They say if you're hitting 40%,
the first minute it's down to like 60, and then it's like dangles around that 50% mark kind of thing.
Well, I've been listening to some Mr. Beast videos recently, and that's one of the things that he stresses is that first 30 seconds of the video. You've got to show them, the viewer, that you're going to give them what the thumbnail told them that you were going to give them, and that you're going to give it to them effectively. So I've really been focusing on that first 30 seconds in the comic book review videos that I've done, because really just trying to get that hook and make sure that people stick around. How effective it is, you know.
Well, like my intro is like 20 seconds, so they're probably like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, but you're established though, right? So your value is known. Like people have seen you've been doing this for years, so they know the value that you're going to bring. You don't really have to prove it to them as much. I think you're the most valuable. You know, you've heard me say this. I think your 6 months look back show is the most valuable show that anyone does, personally, because it gives you that perspective that's oh so important. You know, Comic Tom is covering the top 10 every week, which we cover it as well as on Monday nights as well. Mm-hmm. But we give it that perspective. And I think Comic Tom a lot of times gives it that perspective as well.
I think Tom has gotten better.
Yeah, he hasn't always.
Tom is a super, and I don't know Tom well. Like I've met him like one time, like others that have met him and talked to him, but he comes across as just a super positive person.
Yeah.
Whether you want to say it's a bit of I think he's just a very positive guy. So like he came from the place of these hot books of like, oh, this is great, and things are gonna do, and he wants to be like, I think he genuinely wants the books to succeed. He wants the comic collecting thing to succeed.
Yeah.
So I think he is historically was a little Pollyanna about the real prospects of a book after it's hit that list. That it's still going to be like, oh, this is the beginning kind of thing. I think post the comic boom, he has done a better job of being like more realistic of like, okay, this is the real situation you're dealing with these books. He can still be a little Pollyanna at times, which there's nothing wrong with being a positive. Like Captain Negative here understands that not everyone can be the freaking party pooper all the time. So it can be a killjoy. Not everybody needs to be a killjoy, like I am. So
well, and I think that's another thing is like. It's one of the things that he said when he talked to Sticky Goose. It was like, we all have a job here to promote this comic book thing. It's not at its heights that it was in the 90s, right? We would have, an X-Men book having millions of copies being sold. We'd have rapper Eazy-E showing up to Rob Liefeld signings. The hype for comic books was much higher back in the 90s than it is now. I think an amazing book now. What Berserker was like the biggest book recently, and it was like 500,000.
Yeah, well, I think that's like Hush 2 or whatever. That was like a pre-order. That's like a 500,000 order. Like that's like the biggest Bandai book in a while, and that's huge now. Like, so, which is funny because like. Orders in comic books and people actually buying comic books is so down compared to like the 90s, yet it's way more accepted mainstream because of the Marvel movies and everything else. Like the characters and comics and all that kind of stuff is way more accepted mainstream than it was back then.
I don't know if that's true. I feel like it's less accepted. Actual comic books, physical comic books, it seems less.
I don't think it doesn't carry the stigma it carried when I was a kid in terms of like,
I think it's because we're old and we don't give a fuck what people think.
Well, it could be that too. It could be that too.
I cared a lot more about what everybody thought back then. I don't give a fuck.
Dave wears just a freaking ray of sunshine every single time. That's right, sir. I am not. I'll be perfectly. I have no.
Yeah, y'all know I'm not. I can flip a switch
I don't
and
make
be
false
angry as
claims.
fuck immediately.
I can avoid it. So,
yeah,
I know my limitations.
I think AR said something interesting earlier. He said this platform is pretty deep into its lifetime, and I have assumed for like 10 years you need to put some money in to turn it on. I don't know how true that is. But I'm curious about it, right? It's so entrenched, right? It's so saturated with people now that maybe it is harder to break through without a little oomph. to push you through? I don't know though. I'm curious. Maybe that's the question. That's why my crap doesn't do well, because I refuse to pay the man. Also, everything I say is so brave. I'm shadow pinned by the AR. You're a beacon of integrity, is what you are. What were you gonna say? My bad, JP.
But and there's a little bit of just randomness to it too. I think it goes in spells. Like I'll have, like, I can remember like YouTube would, like, one of my videos would take off, and then one of the look back videos would take off back in the early days, and I'd get like 2,000 views. I'd be like, all right. And then like the next one I would do again, would get like 600. And for like, it'd be like a month, and then I'd get like a 15. And then I got to a point where they were pretty steady, and now they just slowly but surely get lower and lower every so often. It just continues to drop in terms of viewership. But,
so you're not at your peak in terms of viewership now? What would you say your peak was? COVID, probably,
yeah, in and around COVID stuff. Like I would say, the last 2 years has been a very slow decline in terms of viewership compared to what it was before that. So I would say about year 3 of me doing this. So we're on year 6. We've just started year 6 or rolled over 6 years of having done this. And I would say years 3 and 4 were kind of my peak, and now it's been slowly going down. But I've never had a video go viral, if you want, like really take off. I've never, like, let me see, like, yeah, my most watched video are some of my Let's Collect that are just very slow burns and have just like continue to get views even now, years later, which is like, and it's the Let's Collect Vampirella, the Let's Collect Red Sonja, Let's Collect Silver Surfer. And those are all, like, well, Vampirella is over 5,000 views, but that's like,
I got nothing like that.
Yeah. And then, but that has been like, you can go in at any time and look at like videos that have gotten views for me in the last couple of days. And those videos will have like 1 or 2 all the time. Like even now, like they will have 3 or 4 views in a week, even now. Like they've just been a very slow climb. They're not like one of my look back videos that gets all its views in the first 4 days, and that's pretty much where it settles within 100 or so views. Like those things were, yeah, I mean, they're still getting views consistently. But yeah, like 4 of my top 5 videos are some of the Let's Collect, and then it's a long run of like look backs, and then you'll get into occasionally another Let's Collect and stuff. But yeah.
Let me try this actually. Actually, I'll try that. I should try that super chat goals thing. I'll figure that out later. Going back to Comic, a lot of people attack Comic Tom for his positivity, but like that's what you're supposed to do if you're trying to have a successful video, right? You see Mr. Beast the same way, bringing that kind of energy. Like that's what people want to see.
It draws people in. Like for everyone that like hates on Comic Tom for being like the super positive guy, that's the reason he's here and has been successful, is because he makes people feel good about comics.
Yeah.
Like people want to watch and listen to him. Like they don't want to hear like I have a very like you and Aggressively were talking about how important that video look back video is, but it's got a limitation to a certain extent, because it's not telling people necessarily, it's telling them show restraint. People don't want that. Like,
I think that's what people need, though.
I didn't say they didn't need it. I said they don't. Yeah. Like in the mass, people don't want that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And does it help comics to tell people not to buy comics?
Yeah, I mean, and I don't always do a good job of walking the fine line of being like, hey, you can like. There's nothing wrong with buying any book that shows up on that list. It's just a matter of like, should you be buying this book now, or should you be looking at something else that's maybe like, should you be like, okay, I'm going to put this on my list for later. Hey, Inja. So,
man, Inja, you look great in that picture. Holy shit, you look good there. All right, my bad. Back to this.
So, I mean, that's, yeah, like, talking restraint is not something that necessarily, like, the vast majority of people want to hear, you know, even if it's good.
Yeah, and I think Dave Maris is right. You're not telling people to not buy comics. You're saying buy them at the right time.
Buy responsibly, yes. I'm saying, like, try to be smart with how you're investing what limited income, what limited funds you have. And, you know, sometimes we do better than others. There's no, like, if you want the book, you and I have talked about this. If you want the book, if it's something you really want, like, there's technically no wrong price if you can afford it.
Get in where you fit in. Yeah.
Yeah. If you can afford it, there is no wrong price if you really want something. But if you're willing to be patient, a lot of times you can do better. Like, you can, and then maybe you can get another book that you want. So it's just that balance of trying to be smart about when you get in on stuff.
Yeah, the really smart people, Dave Maris, they watch JP and they sell when JP's doing the cash or trash. And then when he brings it back for the 6 months, you're buying it back. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to be turning a profit playing the game that way. Which gets to the thing another thing that I want to talk about, because I haven't talked about it, but it's such a fascinating thing to me in this community, which is the way in which people attack Comic Tom for influencing them to buy books. Like, I saw Sticky Goose, like when he had the interview with Tom, didn't he attack him for influencing him to buy a bunch of books during COVID? And I just think that's so fucking weird for these 30-plus-year-old men, right? Grown ass men crying because they got influenced to buy a book at its peak when it wasn't going to stay worth that much. Are you not a grown man? It's so weird to me how this FOMO thing is.
Like, and I get, like I said, Tom is very positive, maybe overly so at times. And,
I disagree.
But hear me out where I'm going with this. Like, maybe he gets overly enthusiastic about, I think this is a great book, you should get in on it, when it's probably, like you and I talk about, it's probably a book you should be patient on. But he's not, last time I checked, he's not coming to your house and being like, hey, you got to buy this shit. Like, you know.
Gun to your head.
No, you're like, you're an adult. And so what I try to do with my videos is really just a reminder, like, okay, think through, why is this book hitting the list right now? Why is it trending? Why are people talking about it? And is that sustainable? Is it going to go up from here, or are you at most likely the peak of something? Like, if a movie's just come out, or a trailer's just come out, or an announcement's just come out for something, guess what? It's probably has nowhere to go but down. It doesn't get any bigger than them going, we're making an Ironheart show. Oh, and everybody and their brother went and bought Riri and paid. And it's not that Riri's a bad character or anything else. It just wasn't a sustainable value for that book. And
yeah, that's what I love about your cash or trash. And that's why I'm always like, all right, what's the math on this one, JP? You know, what's the ratio math for this one? Because you've been doing this so long, is that there are real clear and defined trends to this thing. And they're not.
You get a Mark Spears that bucks the trend, but I can tell you right now, and I'm happy because it's a 6-month thing, I'm having to do a mea culpa on the Mark Spears stuff. Let's talk about Mark Spears in 2.5 years.
Yeah, will those books I'd be interested in, and have you ever thought about, and I know you do so much already, but like, I've thought about taking your show and doing like a year look back.
Well,
year and a half look back.
And people have asked me over and over again to like do that, like do a year, and technically at this stage, everything's in a spreadsheet. Like for the first couple of years, it was all on paper and shit. And then I finally went to Excel, like to keep track of and do it in a spreadsheet so that for this. So it's like, since like 21 or 22, it's all saved. Like I could go back at any time and look at those books. It's just a matter of time to do that. Like,
you know what you should do is you should use the weapon, as my friend Darth Lopez calls it, is you should use ChatGPT to organize that data into something useful to allow yourself to give a more broad look.
Well, the thing is, I got to go back and I got to update where values are right now. Like every time I go in, like it's, you know, I got to spend and then I got to make it's just a matter of like, I did tonight, like, well, it took a little longer tonight because this was a week we didn't do it in the fall that I'm getting ready to do for Saturday. But I went in, and on a normal week, my pattern is usually on Tuesday, I spend, depending on how many books there were, somewhere between an hour to an hour and a half looking up current values on eBay. And sometimes on Go Collect and other things, if there hasn't been sales and like those grades that they listed for like older books, to update all the values on where these books are versus where they were at 6 months ago. On Wednesday, I usually spend an hour to an hour and a half to make all those little images that I put up that says, hey, this is the book and how much it's going for, what it's going for then, what it was going for now. And then Thursdays, I record and edit, which is usually like, that's probably, the record is like, 15 minutes or whatever. And then I got to wait for it to like save and upload to the thing. And then editing, it's like a 30-minute thing. So you're talking 3 to 4 hours a week to make that video. That I make $6 to $8 on every week.
Yeah, it's a passion of love, right? Hey, what up, Legion?
I don't have the time to dedicate another
more
to that.
Do you use ChatGPT at all?
To do a 2-year look back.
Do you use ChatGPT at all?
No.
I think that it might be worthwhile to give that Excel spreadsheet to ChatGPT, let it analyze the data, organize it, and see what it could do for you. For example, like this is more work, so I'm just spitballing here, but like if we do the show on Monday night and you had the capability to have ChatGPT review your spreadsheet so that it could tell you, hey, this book was on the list January of 2016, March of 2020. It's hit the list this many times. This is the price it was at.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work, but I'm saying that perspective would be awesome.
Is and how I name stuff.
So the ChatGPT, like, I don't know what he's doing.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
If anybody's seen me like type in the chat, you know that my typing is probably not that much better in the spreadsheet.
Melo says your hard work is appreciated, and I second that. I always champion your stuff. Like I said, it's the most valuable thing.
And I don't get them as much as I used to, but for a long time, because I thought even like after a year or so, I'm like, at this point we've kind of seen the pattern. Maybe this has run its course, and of doing this look back thing. But I still fairly consistently get comments of, "Hey, I just found your channel. This is awesome. Thank you for doing that." And
that's an interesting another one idea that I think is interesting. Going back on your list and reviewing the books like Mark Spears, the history, kind of maybe pick 5 of them and show the history of the books that buck the trend that we would normally expect, and kind of try and talk about the reasons why it was different. Because I think about this all the time when we do our show on Monday, or your show on Monday night, how it's so easy to poop on every single one, right? It's easy. And you're probably going to be right if you do.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you just said, I'll be back, wait and come back later on every book every week, you're probably going to be batting 60 to 70%.
You're going to be turning a profit is what you're
you're going to be better. If your goal was like, I'm going to own every book that shows up on this list, and I'm going to buy it 6 months from now, and you would come out ahead. But there would be a few books that would eat a ton of that profit because some of them just don't make any sense. But yeah.
Can you think of any others that bug? Obviously, Mark Spears has been kicking our ass. We've been really super wrong about that one. Has there been any other books that come to mind that really buck the trend that you'd expect?
Occasionally you'll get an indie that bucks the trend, like the Mark Spears thing. Beneath the Trees bucked the trend.
Yeah, that one definitely did.
Your Baby was a trend destroyer.
Something is killing the children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But absolutely. Then you'll have a book that's like Stray Dogs that bucked the trend for that 6-month thing. But if you'd done a 2-year thing, you'd been way better off, you know. Yeah. So is Beneath the Trees as popular as it was now that it's run its course a year from now? Is it still a trend bucker? I mean, does it still end the trend? It just sometimes it takes longer. You just never know.
Yeah, those Stray. I was gonna say those Stray Dogs books. All those books that I wanted when it was hot, you can get them all now at a fraction of the price they were going.
And I will say that you will have the hot covers for every. Was that Adam Hughes Pop Kill from several years ago that's still a monster book, or Wolverine Banana, the Banana Wolverine, or trying to think of some other really good. There was a Spider Gwen that's still like a monster book. For every cover that becomes an absolute monster, most of those, the vast majority, even after 6 months, like if you come back in a year, have trended down some. Maybe not as much. Maybe they still have value, but most of those covers have trended down, and a lot of them after a year or so. If you did it at 18 months, it would even be a bleaker picture. Now, here's the thing. It also has to do with the 6-month thing. Also has to do with where the overall market is at, which is something I've come to realize more and more in the last. Like I realized it a lot during the comic boom, and then after that, during the comic boom, the 6-month thing was almost like I had gotten to the point where I was like, I may need to adjust from 6 months, because I had went from the first couple of years that it was like the pattern was basically 70% down, 20 to 25% would be sitting about even, 5 to 10% would be up after 6 months. During the boom, it was probably closer to 50 to 60% down, 20 to 30%, or 30% up, or no, even, and then 10 to 20% up kind of thing. I'm trying to make sure my math is working, but yeah, like it definitely was a more consistently, you would get books that would stay up, that would continue to climb, that would stay steady. Post boom, it swung hard back the other way. Like it swung hard back the other way, that it was even fewer. Here lately, as the market appears to have stabilized, the up hasn't really grown, but the steady is taking up a higher and higher percentage of the list every week on the look back. So, and it's a lot of books. Like I mean, spoiler, because I just did it, but like, there were some we're talking about like a lot of the decent keys that will hit the list. Like, for 6 months ago I'm going to talk about this week. There's going to be a Vengeance of Bane. There's and there's some other books along that kind of line that hit the list, and they end up being more steady than anything else. And a lot of it is that I don't always do a good job of, because of the amount of time it takes me anyways, I don't always do a good job of when they hit the list and I look at the values that Tom and that he's providing from Key Collector and that CBSI is putting out there, I don't always do a good job of seeing where the book was at. Like, that's probably the one thing I failed to do, is where was this book before it hit the list? Where is it now to hit the list? And then that would give better context if I had the time to do it.
Yeah, by the time, we were talking about books that have bucked the trend of hitting the list and not cratering in value 6 months later. This right here is my book. I wanted this book when it came out desperately. I found it on New Comic Book Day, and they wanted $250 for it, and I said, I don't want it that much.
Yeah.
And I've been waiting for this book to crater since then. And look at it. It's still $200, man. I want this fucking book. I don't $200.
Oh, yeah, but then it was like $200 for like a raw copy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a raw price. You're right.
Yeah. So what's the raw price? It's probably still around $100.
Yeah, it's still pretty expensive. Yeah.
And Marcus, I just wanted to come up and say hello, buddy.
What up, man? How you doing, Retro?
I'm doing good, y'all. It's been a busy week.
Oh,
dude, can I like update you guys on something regarding my old desk? Because this, I know this is kind of cliche update, but I had to deal with with modifying my setup. My old metal desk that used to be here. It broke. It broke. It got bent, and just when I got home yesterday, I was taking the desk apart because it was falling apart anyway. So I had to get that out of here, and then I repurposed that old nightstand situation end table as my main desk, and then my nightstand that was by my bed I'm using right here to watch chat on and everything. So
all right, that's dope, man. If you look at this book, though, look, you might as well buy
the price is all over the place. What's it selling for? What's it
Is this eBay? By the way, is this eBay?
Yeah, he's showing.
Yeah, we're just looking at a book that I've
don't
wanted
look at what they're listing for. What's it selling for?
Wow, somebody got it for $20.
Somebody stole. Yeah, but look at that.
Oh my God, I'm so
jealous.
Marcus, you're talking about how much it's going for.
Bummer, man.
People have not been willing to readjust. There's only been 2 sales.
Yeah. So the price needs to come down.
The price needs to come down, but people haven't been willing to bring it down. Like there's not the market for the book, as you can see by that auction that went for $20.
I'm so sad that I missed this, dude. I would have bought the fuck out of this for $20.
Marcus, you know what this means? I agree with your friend now. If that's for $20, and
that's where you watch that sucker. Like you put your save that search and watch it, and then you wait for the next auction to come up, Marcus.
You wait for it to come down, you know.
Oh, we got a hand up.
Oh, sorry.
Remy, Q Studios, check my man out. Let's talk about it Friday night, leading into DJ Lynx's show with the Illuminati, gracing us with his presence. What's up, my man? What you got to say?
I appreciate it. How you doing? Hey, is there any way you can pull up that screenshot again? Was that auction from the 24th by chance?
Yes, March 24th. Was it you that bought that damn thing?
I'm kidding.
I was gonna say you son of a bitch. I was gonna say you son of a bitch.
He was ready to
April Fool's mother.
He was ready to come to the camera on you.
I'd pay $100 easy for that. For a 9/8 slab of this book, I'd be happy to get it.
If I would have had that in my hands, I almost think I would have cracked it. Just to F with you, like, hey,
Marcus,
it's $20. Who cares? Just toss it.
That was well played, man.
Marcus, that would have been the ultimate April Fool's Day joke.
Yeah,
you had him too. He was like, you. So he was ready to call you names.
All right, well, Marcus,
Evil.
I wish I could. Wait.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I wish I could stay, but I got some busy stuff tonight because this is a triple whammy day for me. You know why?
Why is that?
1, it's April Fool's Day. That's 1. 2, it's a Tuesday, so Taco Tuesday. And 3, that all y'all know what the kind of month it is? It's Autism Awareness Month.
Okay.
So I've got 3.
I did see that.
So yeah, it's a triple whammy month for me. So, or day for me at least. So tonight's gonna be a busy one, but I did want to pop on and see my man Marcus because he the man.
Thanks for coming through, Retro, and happy Autism Month, man. Yeah. Represent, my friend.
Well, I would, but my T-shirt's over there.
I mean, you're just your presence alone is representing.
Well, I am autistic, so I get it.
I appreciate you jumping on, guys. Check out Retroverse. He's got a lot going on over his channel there.
Did you want me to drop my link? It's up to you.
Oh yeah, I can drop it for you here.
Thank you. Don't even gotta get my hands dirty.
Yeah, let me find that and I'll get you in there.
Take it down, man. It's okay.
All right. Anything else going on this week? I guess we talked.
Oh, you mean regarding that? I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt. Go ahead.
I mean, anything really. I mean, anything else going on? I'm trying to find
really, there's nothing else going on with me. I know that next month is May, which means that's Star Wars month, which means I might be doing some content regarding Star Wars next month. But other than that, I don't really have much to talk. Oh wait, I do have something actually. I just remembered. On the 16th, I think it's the 16th. Yeah, the 16th of April. That's my current channel's 2-year anniversary.
Nice.
So
2 years. Wow.
Yeah, 2 years. I had my first channel for about 12 or 13, but that channel got taken down. So, oh my God, now I don't even know if I should leave because now Legion's up here. What's going on, bro?
That seems like a good time to leave. Legion shows up.
Yeah,
Legion's got that Turok hype.
I'm just reading
Turok hype.
Marcus.
Yeah. What's up?
I DM'd you. I need your address, man. I wanted to get this in the mail tonight.
Oh, you have? Well, you don't.
Dude, I went back in the feed. It was so far back when last time you sent it, and I didn't write it down. That's my fault. I'm sorry. I didn't interrupt the show.
No, you're fine, bro.
I hopped on here just to ask you to your face for your address.
So if you could just give that to us right now, and everybody else, please.
And I hate to say it, but just go ahead and tell me. I'll just write it as you talk.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm texting it to you now.
I'm sending Marcus this awesome art card of Geiger. It pays to be in that Tuesday live stream. It really does. You never know.
Hell yeah. All I did was say, I need that. And he was like, okay, here you go. Shout out to White Tiger. Ruby G hooking it the fuck up.
Ultimately, thank you to Ruby G because he sent me a few of these things to pay forward if I wanted to or keep if I wanted to, and paid one, and I found the right home for the next one. But check this out. He sent me a thank you card for hitting up his baby registry because they're having a baby. Yeah. But he sent this, man. This thing is just, oh my gosh.
Oh wow,
that's cool.
the shadow.
That is great.
What?
All right.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I'm keeping this one.
Oh, for sure. That looks cool.
Because it looks like the issue 1, and it actually matches my shirt even.
Oh, cool.
That wasn't planned.
So I have not immediately, but I do eventually want to do a review of the first volume of Geiger.
Yeah, I'm absolutely loving your review videos, and now they have guest appearances. What?
Yeah, so I'm gonna hit you up and see if you want to.
I have a question.
Talk about that Geiger video.
I can send you my media packet, and if you just want to agree to the terms, sign the paper, send it back to me. I'll be happy.
He's gonna have to review a show to make sure it's a good fit.
What's Geiger? What's the comic series Geiger? I've heard of it. It's just I've never really dabbled. So
Marcus, send me your last name because I don't put like YouTube names on mail. I mean, I can, but I'm also need to put your real name. I've had stuff sent back to me because like it happened with Flo back in the day. Like it had a problem with it.
They happened with Daymares.
Yeah, they wouldn't let him have it at the post office because his driver's license doesn't say Flo Dameron.
Yeah. Daymare sent me something and he put circumstances, so they had no idea where to put it.
And to answer your question, Retro, Geiger, like there's this really famous DC Comics writer named Jeff Johns who like redefined an era. He like did Flashpoint and Green Lantern, all these iconic runs. He started his own company like 3 years ago, and with the title character of Geiger, the Radiated Man. It's like post-apocalyptic stuff. And in this world where few people are surviving, trying to survive nuclear fallout and this and that, there's this glowing man who's a little mysterious. And it's just really, really cool stuff, man. It's really good.
I'll have to look into it.
Yeah,
all right, guys.
One of my 6-issue miniseries.
Okay. I'm gonna wait a minute. Hold on. Radioactive Man. Does that have any relation to our creature commandos at all? Sort of.
It doesn't, but Dr. Phosphorus, it's pretty funny because in Creature Commandos, you had Dr. Phosphorus and GI Robot. And in this, you have Geiger and Junkyard Joe, who's like GI Robot. It's pretty funny.
Very similar characters, yeah.
Yeah, very similar, dude.
By the way, I referenced GI Robot on one of my YouTube shorts when I was playing Medal of Honor. I shot a Nazi in the game in the head, and I mentioned GI Robot in one of my shorts. So
Yeah, he's really cool, man. That show was it was pretty decent.
Creature Commandos, yeah. So is Creature Commandos still going on, or is it like ended?
Tons of fun.
It ended.
Aw. Well, I guess I'm a little bit too late. All right, guys. Thanks for the convo. I will see you guys later.
It was good seeing you, man.
Later,
Of course.
Retro. Have a good one, man.
And Legion, I'll have to get back in the Turok because I haven't played in a long time.
Yeah, I think I'm about done with the first game playthrough. I'm gonna switch over to Seeds of Evil after that.
Oh, I wanted to tell you about that, about the number one game. Number one, I had an issue. I don't know if I told you or not, but my save file got deleted somehow. I don't even know how.
Yeah, my memory, because I'm using an actual 64, my memory card corrupted while I was playing it. So I've got more, but I just went online. I'm like, okay, there's code you can put in just to go right back to the level you were on. So I just did that.
So, but yeah, I had so much progress on that game, and I feel bad for losing that progress because I was mainly doing that for you because you're the Turok guy. So, because I was, supporting, So, but right now I'm very deep. But right now I'm very deep in the Turok 2 Seeds of Evil, and I actually own Turok 3 Shadow of Oblivion. But I'm not there yet. So
I don't have Shadows of Oblivion, but I got number 1, 2, and 4.
I don't have 4 yet. I just have the remastered version, 3 remastered versions on Steam, and they don't have 4 on Steam. I'll have to look at.
I put 4 in one time for about 10 minutes and just mess around. It's very confusing menus. It looks like it's only meant to be like a multiplayer shoot 'em up. I don't even know if there's story mode to it. I just took it out. I'm like, I'll go revisit it when I actually get to it when I play through.
Yeah, I'll have to look into it. But I'll see.
Let me know for sure.
All right. Take care, guys. Oh, is it? I can't remember. Is it Kev or Kevin? Which one is which?
Sure, whatever works for you.
All right, Kev. Kevin. Good to see you, man. All right, bye. I am a bounce, but I'll see you guys later. Take care.
All right, later, Retro. Shout out to the homie Paul in the 619. Great show tonight, Paul. Amazing friends. Going live prior to FOC and Chill. Definitely check my homie out. They have a great time over there. And a lot of my friends are his amazing friends. So very cool stuff. Check them out. We were talking about that book that was too expensive that you've been waiting to crater so you can go buy it. This is definitely one for me. Joker number 2, the Santa Prisca variant. Another one for me is Something is Killing the Children number 1. People keep saying that book is gonna bomb, and I wish it would so I could go buy it, but it hasn't. Or do you guys have any books that kind of got too expensive for you, but you still you're waiting for it to come down?
Yeah, Avengers 1.
Okay.
I'm waiting. One day that thing's just going to and then I'm going to be able to snag it up.
Remy, I'm waiting for that giant size X-Men crash.
Yeah, you know.
Those are those books that, even when they crash, they still are super expensive. Those are the big boy books. I don't play in that arena. I play in the modern comics, cheaper arena.
You want to kick yourself a little bit? Go and find a late 90s Wizard magazine. Go to the value section in the back and look at some of the values from like 99 and say, oh man.
I wish I wasn't a poor kid.
If only I had $350 in 1999 to throw at a comic book.
I wonder what the peak year for buying would have been. Like the crater, the bottom falling out. GP, you have any idea when?
96.
Because they obviously jumped for COVID, but there was a crater before that, wasn't there?
A while before that. It had been
95.
I was gonna say like
mid 90s. My 90s were still hyped though. I figured it'd be in the 2000s.
The 90s, you're getting like the Nightfall and the Death of, and the Image was still like firing, and people were just starting to scratch
Yeah,
their
but
head and
like,
say, when are these delays going to fix?
When Image, Valiant, Malibu, when all these companies came about, yes, everything took off. So you're talking 90 to 93. In 94, things were tapering.
Image showed up in 92, Kev.
Right. And in 93 to 94, there were comic book shops everywhere, malls, corners. You couldn't open a shop and fail. It was impossible. However, when 95 came, it was the exact opposite. They're all starting to close. Everyone that thought that just because you're going to buy Superman Dies or anything like that, or X-Men Executioner Song or anything that was coming out of the time like that, that you're going to be a millionaire. And when that didn't happen in 95, everyone bailed by 96, 97. It was
I was about to say 95 was about the time. And like you said, the Superman thing didn't pan out for all those one-day shoppers.
Well, you could just, I mean, you
Superman 75 was 92 also.
That we have now, you could see the market charts. They're out there, and you could just see, bam. So in that time of 96, 97, you could really start getting, if you knew, again, it's like anything else. If you had the hindsight or the market understanding of when things are going to ebb and flow like that if you're smart enough to sit there and hold off. Good case in point happening right now. Venom number 5, the 1 per store is going to drop already, not only because some shops only did receive 1, meaning even if you own a shop, let's say like Collector's Paradise, where you own actually 3 shops, they that I know only received 1. Same with Comic Bug. They own 2 shops. They only received 1. So you're not only seeing this book going up, but more than likely because of who the character is, because of what it's going to end up happening. It's much as this fine individual was pointing out just 20 minutes before I got here, you'll end up finding that book more than likely a year from now at just a percentage of what it'll end up going for tomorrow. It'll end up being the hottest thing that everyone has to have. But the reality is, 1, because of the character, and 2, just because of the fact that it's another character that has now 3 personas. There's just no way that that's going to hold value when it comes to actual the market sales when it initiates secondary or even tertiary. But when you find it a year from now, you end up finding, I guarantee, at least 50% of what it sells.
Are you talking about the all new Venom?
Yeah, that'll launch tomorrow. That 1 per store.
Yeah. For the people that don't know who it is, when they find out who it is, they're going to wish they didn't pay money for that book.
Well, no, most people won't buy it blindly at the same point. But that's my point, is that individual also this would be the 3rd persona of that individual.
Yeah.
And everyone knows.
You know who it is under the symbiote, right?
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know.
People are going to be so pissed that don't know. Like,
is it a secret? Can we not say who it is? Because I
don't. The book's not out till tomorrow. It's a spoiler for anybody that's reading it that didn't.
The book comes out tomorrow, but
it gets revealed tomorrow officially.
That shows you what.
So how do you know then?
How do I know?
On the internet.
It got leaked. It got leaked or something.
By the weekend, there were retailers already posting it, but there were also, oddly, I ended up finding out through my son. He was playing Marvel Rivals, and through Marvel Rivals, if you're in the crowd, they freaking knew by Thursday.
That's awesome.
And here's the thing about that book that like people were going crazy for it, but it was just the reveal. It wasn't even the first appearance of him in that persona. It's just the reveal of who it is. It's not.
Well, you also know, you'll know, that's what I'm getting at, is you'll know also that can't be the long-term post, that it's impossible. This is just a temporary.
Yeah.
So it's going to go up through the fucking roof tomorrow, and it may hold, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 weeks, but I guarantee after that it'll not only go down, but look for that book
I don't even know.
A year from right now, and you'll see that thing less than half. Guarantee.
It'd be interesting to see how much it even jumps, though. Now that the majority of people probably know.
Average sales
as much as it won't jump.
Kiss, bro. Now it's already going for anywhere from $60 to $90.
What the fuck?
Oh, Mark
Okay.
found it.
Okay, I don't understand that, but okay. All right, I can't say anything. I'll spoil it immediately, so I'll just chill.
Yeah, it's dumb.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Von Hoot's got it summed up correctly. It's spectacular.
Spectacular.
What up, Council of Comics? What up to my homie Sicko Tron? What up, Sicko? Thanks for coming through, man. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Dude, you know what I did when I saw that a few days ago? I went back and I dug out my copy of All New Venom #1, the John Jang variant, and I just looked at it. I'm like, nah, that doesn't make sense.
Well, between one, when you see what they refer to as a spoiler variant, that's actually an homage to you not being able to see Mary Jane in issue, I think it's Amazing Spider-Man 49 or 4. Anyways, where they put the flower in front of her and you can't really see her identity. And then the other one is at the end, the last page of the reveal, her famous quote.
Tiger.
And then you'll see there's, I think, it was supposedly as many as 6 different homages and little, coined phrases from other books that are being portrayed throughout the whole book. So that's the other
Is
thing.
it an April Fool's joke?
No,
with a bunch of fucking
the book releases on the
gimmicks.
2nd. The news came out well before then. Nothing new happened today. So can you imagine if they could have saved that for today and everyone would have been like, ha, good one. And then they pick up the book tomorrow. They're like, fuck, they got us.
Yeah,
that would have been awesome.
They were serious.
Yo, the ASM editors are sons of bitches and hate their readers. It's just
that's
confirmed.
basically
Confirmed. You hate your reader.
Dude, I tell you, when I first came back to comics, I was like, I want to collect Amazing Spider-Man. That was a book that I always wanted as a kid. I just couldn't afford it. So that was one of the first things I added to my pull list. And everybody was like, oh, the Nick Spitzer run is terrible, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, whatever.
It was great compared to Zeb Wells.
I'm sure I'll like it, but I did not like it at all. It was not good.
Dude, ASM hasn't been good in way longer than before Nick Spencer. It's just, I don't know what it is. Like, the book is treated with no respect and no reverence. It's just
for the most part,
it makes no sense.
It's journeyman writers for the most part. It's not, they don't put the superstars on it, even when they have superstars in the stable. Like Donny Cates, when he was as hot as all world, did he get an ASM book? No,
they gave him a Hulk book to destroy.
Yeah, I mean, they gave.
Don't get Legion started.
Have they given Al Ewing Spider-Man? No, we get.
Think about that.
No, they gave Al Ewing Green Lantern. That's like, I highly recommend y'all pick that new
Venom right now. And when you see what he did with this whole Venom thing, you're gonna question, what the fuck are you doing, Al Ewing?
Yeah. And if you're being absolutely fair, I was talking about it on the DC Day stream. Like Batman Hush 2 is out right now. Mm-hmm. Before this is out right now, there hasn't been a modern Batman run that you would have in like your top 10, top 5 list since the Court of Owls, and before that, Hush. Modern Batman book gets gimmicked a lot. The James Tynion run, they just kept pushing like random first appearances and Joker wore this and that. There's nothing memorable or good about it. And I've always told people, if you want to read Batman, read Detective Comics, because it's not bogged down by all the gimmicky stuff. So it's been a long time since. I mean, they know their flagship one's going to sell. So I don't know why they don't have it sell even more. Why do you? It's like they're intentionally knocking the knees out from under Batman and Spider-Man. Even though they're number one sellers, they're still highly held back from what they could be.
It's also known in the industry that these characters will sell themselves. Essentially, the backing behind them is so long and so entrenched that they know that it doesn't always have to be top notch. Much like in the case of Point, you take almost any independent run, and if it doesn't launch with people talking about it within the first 2 issues, it doesn't get picked up more than 6. You know what I mean?
I think what you guys are saying is that Batman sucks because of us. ASM sucks because of us, because we buy it even when it sucks.
I was going to say it sucks because of the writers, but I get your point, Marcus. We still buy it.
I mean,
that's my point.
Yeah, but there's no incentive to change it and make it better if they know it's going to sell anyway.
Their incentive is actually to not tell. You're not going to get great ASM and Batman stories because they're unwilling to take any risk whatsoever with the character. Like
I'll give them credit. They take risks with Batman. They legit we went through like an entire year. We went through an entire year plus where he didn't even have a hand. Like they cut off one of his hands off, and like left him like that for a long time. Where he
just had a robotic hand within like 30 seconds, and they barely.
It wasn't really consequential,
They barely used
that's like character changing.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't often have stuff that after they broke. Well, when I say consequential, you're breaking the status quo. They did the whole little "you're broke" thing, where how broke can he really be? But they've taken him out of the Batcave. They've taken him out of Wayne Manor. He's in the Brownstone now. They've done a good bit of shifting with the character, and they did that for Tom Taylor's kind of correcting it because I didn't like some of the changes that they made to him. But this whole I'm old and broken now thing that they did through a lot of the Tynan stuff. And all that. Now Tom Taylor on Detective Comics is kind of correcting that.
That was a lot of Rom V too, and then he was
Rom V was doing the amazing detective run, the Noctura thing, which just stood on its own merits. That saga was amazing. But since Tom Taylor took it over, he's kind of addressing points that were happening in the main Batman title because his current storyline, this old friend of Bruce's works at this seedy corporation that's kind of through science unlocked a little medicine that can revitalize you kind of thing. It won't make you immortal. It won't make you live forever, but it turns you back into a spring chicken a little bit, So they were writing Batman into being old for a good while. Now they kind of bounced him back. So I appreciate that they pulled that back. Yeah, they killed Alfred. That was pretty consequential.
That has stuck too, which is crazy.
Yes.
I'm surprised that stuck as long as it has.
And no one that's
shout out to Tom King, baby.
That's a cheap key too. No one really cares that Alfred died in this book. It was like 77, I think. Batman 77.
Something.
I don't remember which. I don't even remember which issue it was, but yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's 77. I thought that would be a bigger deal than it is, but yeah, I jumped on with Batman with Tynan. I went all the way. I didn't jump on with him, but I went all the way back to his start, and I don't like it.
Yeah,
I should have picked up Detective.
I caught it from his first issue. Like, this is trash.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Tynan stan. I love Tynan, but I haven't liked Batman at all. I hated Zdarsky's run, honestly. That whole Batman is so badass that the only thing that can take him on is himself type of shit. I was just like, I hated it.
When he put the underwear on his face and jumped out of space and just took
that was the dumbest shit I've ever read.
I was
triggered, dude.
There was parts of Chip's run that I appreciated a lot from the way that he was writing it. So early on, they introduced Failsafe, and I'm like, this is lame. Why would you introduce Failsafe instead of just bring Amazo into the story? We have amazing characters at both of these companies that don't get utilized. And this was a prime opportunity to utilize Amazo. And I was vocally upset about that because no one cares about a Failsafe. But Chip Zdarsky did something cool. He kept his run going, and he built on his own run instead of pulling from deep in DC lore, this, that. He literally created his own run with its own foundation and built a pretty good tower out of it. And ultimately, we know it ended with Amazos and stuff, an event, which was awesome. And then the last little run that he did was that he was asked to stay on for that last run to get him to Hush.
Yeah.
And that one was just kind of lame, but his run wasn't iconic or legendary, but there was some decent stuff in there for sure. I was very critical at first, but impressed with how he played it out.
No, Sicko, there's an all-new Venom, and they've been running this new Venom person for a while. It's been a secret who it is, and it's going to be revealed tomorrow who it is, but it's already been leaked online who it is. And I laughed out loud when I saw who it was. So
that character.
Just look at this cover. You can tell who it is underneath it if you look close enough. It's easy to tell. Just look close. Looks just like who it is.
No,
it doesn't.
No, it doesn't look like anything like who it is.
Yeah. When you I saw it was. I had to go back and look at this. Like, no, that's not that person. It's just not.
Well, and they have done everything they can in the last 2 years to make people hate that character in every way they can anyway.
They're starting Batman back to 1? What?
Yeah, this fall they're gonna start
Matt freaking Fraction is after Hush wraps up 12-issue Hush, they're gonna do Batman number 1 after that with Matt. They're not restarting his continuity, just the numbering, but Matt freaking Fraction is gonna. No,
I'm jumping off.
You can say that, but this is where you're going to want to jump on. Is what like
what I'm not even like. It's a chore for me to read Batman at this point. It's a chore.
Yeah, I just, for the most part, I just ignore the numberings and I just read straight through. The numberings are kind of irrelevant.
They're just doing it as oh look, here's a place to jump on, folks. And
they're times out with the summer. There's a lot of big stuff going on with DC with movies and shows, so they're getting a lot of free marketing for people that walk in comic shops. Will be looking for DC that might not have been previously. So it's good to have a welcoming number system is the whole
Batman #1, and then and it's basically it's also an excuse to have
DC's so much better about not.
Mm-hmm.
DC's so much better about not doing that.
Yeah,
but that's another thing. That's another thing that is our fault because when they do it, we reward them for doing it every single time.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to punish myself because they're looking for new readers. Like I don't criticize Marvel for doing it because again, it's irrelevant on the thing. Like there's the newbie number. There's that big number. That's for the noobs. Right under it, that's for the people who know what's happening with comic books. There's both of them.
So you're fine. I think it's annoying, but you seem to be.
Oh, it doesn't. It's 6 1/2 dozen the other. It doesn't break the story. It doesn't break the continuity. The creative teams rarely change half the time when they do it. So I mean,
but then they drop a #1. They drop 20 variants on it.
Just get the A cover like a normal man.
If it makes money, it makes money though. So yeah,
it makes dollars. It makes sense.
Yeah, I didn't like Chip's run at all. Honestly. I didn't finish it either, though. I'm still pulling it, but I stopped reading it a while ago. I think it was probably sometime. Well, no, I got to the Joker War stuff, but I'm telling you that
was JT4.
Oh no, not Joker War. I got to the Joker stuff with Zdarsky.
The year 1 Joker 3 issue that they did. Yeah. That had some crazy Sorrentino art in some of that, I think, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. Well, I always like the art.
Detailed painted stuff.
I usually enjoy the art in Batman. I just don't always enjoy
Sicko covers B through V is whack. Hey, what did y'all think of Hush though? Like it's here.
I have not read it. I got to pick up my books
mine haven't come
yet. I have not read mine yet. Yeah.
Again,
so I have to order.
Highly critical of why are we doing Hush 2? It's an iconic story. What can you do once the villain's been bested? They can never be as villainy again. And I thought they did a good job jumping back in the saddle and having the same tone and feel and sense of urgency and a lot of characters, which that was a big thing about Hush. That there's a lot of characters all throughout it. It definitely felt like you were reading Hush, if that makes sense. So I was very happy with that. I'm excited to see where they go with it. I don't think it can live up to the first time.
But it's funny that you liked it because the person whose comment he has right now hated.
Yeah, but John collects X-Men books, so there goes his credibility.
I was dating on it last night.
Hopefully it comes by Friday. So
did you read the 159 Ashcan also?
Later, Evil. Thanks for coming through, homie.
What is that?
I have not read anything.
You're kidding, right?
Is that the Hush Ashcan?
The great legend.
159.
No, I skipped the Ashcan. I just got the actual book.
No.
Did anybody get the huge one?
But on the launch date of 158, for the pre thing, there was a 159 12 issue Ashcan.
Yeah, I skipped it because I didn't even look at the numbering on it. The one with the red hood on it. Yeah, I skipped it because I just assumed that was for the book I was buying.
No, it's 159.
No, yeah, I skipped it. I'll just get that issue when it releases.
Yeah.
Did anybody get the big hood? They're doing that giant size.
Dude, they're massive.
Did you? I'm surprised you didn't get one. You didn't get one, Mark?
No, I played with it in the store and stuff, and
I'm not sure what you do. Like, I don't have a bag and board for that thing. Like, what do you even do with it?
Saran
I guess you could use a slab bag, maybe.
No, Izzy pointed out that it fits perfectly in those original art top loaders. Did they make simply? But so if you want to collect all 12 issues in that's $15 a pop, or $20 if you go for the foil a pop, times 12 plus the price of 12 11 by 17 top loaders. Oh, I thought it was 12. Okay, so 6 issues then. Yeah, but
I have no idea.
I could be wrong too. But
I could be wrong. We can be wrong together.
We can be wrong together. Well, thank you to everybody coming on. We're at an hour, so let's go ahead and get out of here because I'm old and tired anyway. Legion, thank you so much for jumping on. I appreciate you as always. You always bring the great discussion. Anything you want to pop off with your channel this week? I was watching you today. I got hooked up with a great sketch thing just for being there, guys. So definitely check in on the Tuesday stream with Legion.
Yeah, do what he said.
You know, all that stuff. Anything else you want to promote, man? Obviously,
no.
You got your Friday morning show. You got your Sunday night show. We'll go ahead and mention that as well. And link for that is in the chat. Legion's doing a terrible job of promoting his channel right now.
Yeah, I don't want to get anybody's hopes up right now because, like, I go to work tomorrow. I'm working like every day for the next 2 weeks because of Masters.
Here.
I don't want to tell someone to come check out the channel, and I don't even know if I want to be on the channel in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Augusta is back. Geiger. I'm going to hit you up, Mark. I'm going to try and get you in on my Geiger. We're just going to do volume 1, but I want to cover all of volume 1 the same way that I covered the Deviant. I would like to get some guest speakers who are passionate about it. So I will see if I can't wrangle you up for that one. Thank you so much for jumping on, Mark. I appreciate you as
Absolutely.
always.
You have a good night.
Remy Q, anything you want to promote? What's going on with you, my man?
I just wanted to get on here to make sure we didn't do any FOC. So
I was about to do it too. I really was.
We were making sure that it
I was itching towards it till JP jumped on.
Yeah, I could tell you were inching there. So yeah, that's it.
Well, check my man out. As I said before, Friday nights, let's talk about it with his lovely wife, Angel. It's always a good time. I really enjoy hanging out with him.
I appreciate that, sir. Thank you.
Leading right into the Illuminati with DJ Links, man. Thank you so much for jumping on, Remy. I appreciate you as always. Kevin, anything you want to promote? Anything going on with you this week?
Yeah, in about 20 minutes, I'll end up doing my weekly show, which is Kmart. Kevin's most anticipated reads tomorrow. So I'll be going over the books that I'm looking forward to reading for tomorrow. And then, I will have some signing events that I'll be going to. I will be seeing Danny Mickey, Rob Liefeld. Who else? Just a few people like that. Well, so I'll be doing my this week's signed books and shows like that. I will be doing an auction really soon, maybe in the next day or two. I don't know. So I'll definitely be not only selling books cheap, but more likely selling signed books. So look for that.
Ooh, you do got plenty of signed books. I know you do. Thank you so much for jumping on. I appreciate you as always, my man. Link for Entropy and Comics is in the chat. Check him out. And last but not least, the most valuable comic book show on YouTube, if you ask me, the 6 months look back. JP, anything you want to promote, my man?
Just the usual stuff. Marcus and I did Cash or Trash last night. I got a Let's Collect dropping tomorrow on Catwoman. I got my usual Saturday stuff coming up. And Saturday, I will be over on Rob's Fat Stacks for Only Slabs for my first.
Oh, yeah, I did. And I'm going to brag again. I set that up, and I'm looking forward to it because I know you're going to bring some bangers. So plug in for that. Link is
just throwing off the books that you can see right now.
Link is in the chat for JP Budget Collecting. Check out his 6 months look back. Check out his Cash or Trash. Some great stuff, and I really enjoy getting to be a part of that. Thank you so much for jumping on, JP. I appreciate you as always. The last thing I want to promote is the thing that John is promoting, the Deviant review. We're at 185 views, which ain't bad. You know, it's pretty good. I'm super duper proud of it. I really do think it's the best thing I've done so far. And I really enjoy Cliff's part in it. I really enjoy John's part in it. And it's motivated me to definitely do more stuff like this. I want to collaborate with more people in this same way and do deep dives into comic books like this. I know Geiger Volume 1 is on my list, and there's going to be some other ones that I definitely want to do. So if you would like to be involved and you have a book that you think would be great to go over, definitely hit me up on Instagram. I'm trying to collaborate with the community on this one. I had the comic book story time. I had 5 issues of that, or 5 episodes of that. But that one stopped because I stopped getting people to work with me on it. So hopefully I can get, this one's a little easier to do because you don't have to carry the full load like you do in comic book story time. I'm going to carry the load for you. I just need some smart stuff from you. So definitely look for that. And I will be hitting people up to see if they're interested in helping me out.
Wait 1 second. You said you need smart stuff from the people that are helping you with it. And you went to John?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. Thank you for getting that last jab in. Well, that's all I got this week, guys. Thank you to everybody that jumped on the panel. Of course, thank you to everybody that kept it lit in the chat. And thank you to everybody that's checking this out on the replay. I see there's a good number of you doing that. And I appreciate all of you. And again, check out that Deviant video, man. I worked so fucking hard on it, man. And I want all the fucking views, please. Hook it up. But that's all I got this week. Until next week, guys. Peace.